What happens when you take two old guys who are young at heart and a young guitar that's maybe old at heart, and you add those two things together? Is it going to be a poisonous cacophony, or is it going to be a match made in heaven? We'll find out together today, right here on Geargasms. Hi everybody, welcome to Geargasms. I'm your host, Alan Barnes. Today I have with me a very esteemed special guest. This man is Rusty. One name, that's all you need to know. Rusty and I go back to 2011, I think, 2012. Yeah. 10 years at least, 2012,
Maybe
I think.
even longer.
Yeah, we used to work together, a little rock and roll project. Yes. But you guys don't care about that because the real star of the show today is this GRETSCH 5420T. Now, if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you've probably seen this for a long time, and I've used it in a couple other videos, but you're wondering why it doesn't have its own video, and I'm going to tell you in just a minute. But first, if you're new to the channel, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe. This channel, it's kind of like a golden Oreo. Yeah, it's a cookie, but no, it's not an Oreo. It's not even a good cookie. It's an abomination. Celebrate mediocrity. But back to the GRETSCH 5420T. Now, of course, you know, I'm going to do my usual Geargasms brand of stupidity with it. You can see where I'm leaning. We are the youth gone wild. We are the ARP
We need to get
wild.
you a Grateful Dead shirt.
We are the nearly retired gone wild. You know how we go wild at our age? We take Eliquis without smashing them first, and we go to the Red Lobster at 5:30 on a Saturday.
Cheesy biscuits.
But this guitar has always been kind of like an aspirational guitar for me, if that makes any sense. It's like, I don't deserve it. I can't really play what it's designed to do, but I've always loved the Gretsches from my earliest days of loving Chet Atkins and Brian Setzer. So Rusty, of course, he relates to this guitar in more of a Neil Young sort of way. It's just his bent. We're only a couple years apart, but maybe listen to a little bit different things back in the day that we overlap a lot more now than we probably did back when we were young. So we have two very different opinions. So that's why Rusty is here, because he's about to give us the full Neil Young treatment on this beautiful, beautiful Gretsch guitar. Of course, it's a hollow body. It has a 5-ply maple top, back and sides. It's got the Filtertron black tops. It has a genuine Bigsby. It's a 60. It has individual volume for each pickup, a master tone, and then a master volume. It has a rosewood fingerboard. 24.6 is the scale length. That is a little bit shorter than a Les Paul, but still a little bit longer than a Rickenbacker. They're vintage style open back tuners. As you can see, they're a lovely, lovely gold on this white. It does have a beautiful off-white binding all the way around it. And of course, it wouldn't be a Gretsch without those lovely F-holes. All right, you guys have met Rusty. We are running clean into the Fender Blues Junior SM57, straight into Cubase, no tricks, a little bit of reverb, starting with the neck pickup.
Yep. And this guitar will give you that Neil Young sound if you're, I mean, I think it runs the gamut from Brian Setzer to Neil, depending on, what kind of squawk you put behind it. But, it'll give you that, and since I can only play Neil Young, that's what you're going to get. Which I tend to like that one.
Yeah, middle's.
There's a little more bite when you go to that.
Yeah, but not in a bad way. Not in like a Strat bridge pickup way.
Right, but you can get the pinch out of it.
If you want it, yeah. See, now I like the last one because it just feels angrier. Neil's angry right now, bro.
Oh, I know. That's what I love about him. He's still angry. He's still writing pissed off songs.
Yeah. He's like Lewis Black of rock and roll. He's never gonna be like happy. He's just always
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be on Spotify.
Yeah, and his records are still good.
Hells to the yeah. All right, so all right, we heard it kind of naked. Let's throw some grit in. Look, guys, I'm not going to tell you every exact setting that we're using on the amp. It isn't a demo of the amp. We're here to listen to this man play this Gretsch. Spoon feed. I gotta spoon feed this audience because they are cry f***ing babies. All right, hit her hard. So I gave you half of the preamp grease and a little less power amp.
Yeah, and then if you go to the middle.
That last one, I could smell bong water in that one. That's the one. That's the one.
And I'm a fan.
I know. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But it definitely goes there.
Yeah,
And then, you know, and you would get the... But it'll give you that, and I like how you can get that. There you go.
Okay, I know my audience, so just a quick cut in. I just wanted to hear it clean through the Marshall. And I know we didn't give you guys the 1, 2, 3 pickup thing that you want with just some strummy stuff so you can really hear this thing. Going straight into the Marshall on the clean channel, almost no gain, just a touch of reverb. Neck pickup. Middle position, same thing. Bridge pickup.
Ooh, you suck.
Little double stops on the neck. Middle. Bridge. Of course, I know you want to hear this. Middle. Bridge. So want to hear those big AC DC chords, the Marshall thing through this? Can these Blacktops handle it? It'll do it.
Little Cortez the Killer, you know, the 3 chords, but it's when he definitely has some of the harsher tones and drippy, you know, which I love that chunky sound. And this guitar will do that.
Oh, yeah. But even, I gotta say though, right in the moment, even with, you're on the neck pickup, which is usually not friendly to that kind of fuzz,
Right.
but it was for that song. You could still hear, there's a lot of articulation, there was air in it, for lack of a better term. I could still, and of course I know I'm sitting, I'm getting some of the body too, but even from what I was hearing over there, it wasn't just mush, neck mush.
Right, and I think some, you know, you can overdo it on the amp sometimes.
Well, yeah,
you know,
that's a top-heavy amp. It's a very high. It has lots of highs.
You know, but you know where you think you want overdrive and you're just getting a whole lot of gain.
Right.
But you can lose that articulation. Especially like on a song like Southern Man where he's. Then when you go to that.
Yeah.
You know, it can overpower.
Yeah. Oh
you know,
yeah, it just become woof.
And exactly.
Yeah.
But it.
Oh, I'm so inspired now.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish we could do something about that.
Yeah, I could fix
use
that.
a little.
I got fret files. I've become sadly adept at it.
I know, and your friend Caveman. So it'll give you all that, you know.
That give me a little bit more of that sweetness to play whatever is in your heart. Play whatever's in your heart.
In my heart, you know. It's a little.
Rusty has a sad heart.
But it's easy to pull, and I'm an acoustic guitar player, so for me, I can pull something out just by pressing too hard, being overzealous.
That's what she said.
D'Addario, man, I see that. D'Addario for life.
Yep.
D'Addario for life.
Yep. You know they still have players' points.
I know.
But you have to use the plastic sleeve from the inside.
I just recently had a great big bag.
I had a big box of the.
I had enough to get the stool. I'm on the ultra gain channel of the Marshall, the high gain side. Voice 1. Gains at about 2 o'clock. No other tricks. Slow reverb. Let's see. Can this thing oof? Of course, with this shirt, you know I got to. I gotta say, that guitar, if you noticed, and hopefully you did see the hands, that vibrato you're doing instead of the side to side, the back and forth on the fret is very much an acoustic player. It's very much a rootsy thing. On a lot of guitars that would be lost, but you could hear that, and there's a fair amount of gain on that.
I think the down switch is good if you're trying to cut through.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you're playing with other people and
drummers.
Yeah.
Assholes.
But it's a bit much, yeah.
Drummers and various other assholes who would seek to crowd out your frequency spectrum. Keyboard players.
And I think too, when you go for that, you better be in tune and
that moment.
and every little bit of string noise.
Well, I think my impressions of it, you got to see me do my stupid stuff. We got to hear Rusty do some amazing things across the range of tones through the Fender Blues Junior.
I liked it. It needs a little work, just in the mechanics, but that's service. You know, that's just general maintenance on an instrument that you have to do. I have an ES-175 from the early 80s, so not necessarily...
It's Norland era. Yeah, it's a Norland era Gibson.
Right, so it's probably the low point.
But
this guitar covers more ground, I would say. It'll give you much more of the twang and the pinch that to go towards towards a Telecaster.
So what did we learn today? We learned that this Gretsch, don't be fooled by its looks. It can do the gamut. It can do everything from country. I haven't tried blues on it yet, but I bet it could do that.
Oh yeah.
Obviously roots rock.
Sustain.
All the roots rock stuff all the way up into like even heavy duty rock and roll. We also learned that it's a great guitar, it plays well, but just like a lot of guitars that are coming from a lot of places, even back, this is pre-COVID now, so you can't blame the workmanship on that. If you have sharp notes on frets 1, 2, and 3, check your nut. Chances are it's cut high. That's the best news is because if it's cut high, a little bit at a time, retune, remeasure. Get nut files from the right, don't use a steak knife like I sometimes do, get the right tools for the right job.
The third nipple.
Yeah. Finally, what we didn't learn so much about is this mysterious master volume, as Rusty calls it, the third nipple. Blah, 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 blah. And I set my relative volume of these two pickups alone, and then I can just use that to make my guitar louder or softer, and maybe I'm going on break and I don't want to mess up this balance, but I don't want this thing feeding back and I don't want to unplug it. I take that master volume, I put it on the stand, I go get drunk, I bang my girlfriend backstage, and then I'm ready for the next set. What a wrist. Of course, thanking Rusty for his time here and always thanking you for the time that you spend on the channel. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Tell your friends about Geargasms, subscribe. They're slow-witted, they'll fit in perfectly. You can buy a t-shirt, it helps to support the channel. Whatever you do in the next 7 days, don't tell Neil Young about it because it's way too late to make that joke. But play more guitar, watch less YouTube, and keep coming back here week after week for more Geargasms.